With 126 members voting in the affirmative, 109 in the negative, and 20 abstentions, House Bill number 9349 is approved on third and final. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the gentleman from.
Madam Speaker, much as I understand the plight of some of our women who are victims of irresponsible and cruel men, and according to my faith, support the divorce bill.
Madam Speaker, I voted no to House Bill number 9349 or this divorce bill because the measure as proposed is anti-family, anti-children, anti-social, and anti-Christian faith.
This representation votes no to the divorce bill.
It is my duty to articulate and defend what they want. I am therefore voting no to House Bill 9349.
Bigyan natin ng pagkakataon ng mga naaabusong kababaihan at kanilang mga anak ng isang pagkakataon na mabuhay sa isang pamilyang puno ng pagmamahal.
This representation voted in the negative to House Bill number 9349 because I believe in the sanctity of marriage and the resilience of the family. I voted no to this said bill because I believe that we must strengthen the family as the basic unit of the society and not to weaken it.
Madalas, Madam Speaker, ang mga kababaihan at mga bata ang biktima sa mga dysfunctional na kasal nang walang legal na paraan para makalabas sa sitwasyon. Ang diborsyo ay magbibigay sa kanila ng paraan para makalabas at magkaroon ng pagkakataon na magsimula muli, malaya muli sa karahasan at pang-aapi sa loob ng tahanan. Ito ay isang batas na pro-kababaihan, pro-bata.
And ensure that our laws reflects our faith. This is a choice between the law of God and the law of the human beings. That's why this representation chose and select the law of God. That's why this representation voted a resounding no to this House bill or this measure.
Madam Speaker, while we may differ in opinion on divorce on the basis of principle, religious beliefs, or moral beliefs, but there is only one constitution, and there can be no constitutional objection to divorce.
Today, I explain my vote of no on House Bill 9349, an act reinstituting absolute divorce. My decision is rooted in three fundamental reasons. First, the need to protect the sanctity of the family. Second, the potential to improve existing legal frameworks. And third, the importance of expanding social services aimed at salvaging failed marriages.
I voted no for the divorce bill because I believe in the sanctity of marriage. The Philippines is largely a Catholic country, and I believe that our laws are there to serve a majority of the Filipino people. Conversely, I believe that our laws must also provide
enact the absolute divorce law now. Likewise, I would like to thank
Madam Speaker, I vote no. Madam Speaker, no bliss comparable to being married to the one you love. This, to my mind, is the rationale behind the biblical passage I quote, "What God has put together, let no one put asunder."
I stand before you today to express my firm opposition to the proposed divorce bill. My decision to vote against this bill is grounded in several key arguments that reflect the values and legal principles that underpin our society. First and foremost, the divorce bill diminishes the sanctity of marriage, a cornerstone of Filipino culture rooted in close family ties.
To voice my opposition to the proposed bill and to explain my no vote. While the intentions behind this bill may stem from a desire to address the genuine suffering of those trapped in untenable marriages, I firmly believe that introducing divorce is not the solution that best serves our society's long-term well-being. Firstly, we must consider the sanctity of marriage. Marriage is enshrined in our cultural and religious heritage. It's a sacred union. It is not merely a contract, but a covenant, meant to endure through life's inevitable challenges.
Yes, Honorable Bordado.
My vote is no.
The Honorable Brosas.
My vote is yes.
Castro.
Yeah, I vote no.
Honorable Dagok.
My vote is no, and may I request to give me time to...
The Honorable Pablo John.
My vote is yes and
Garin.
A million yes, Madam Speaker.
My vote is yes.
Ang boto po ng kabataan ay yes at nais ko pong magpaliwanag na aking boto mamaya.
Vote is no, and
I vote a resounding and strong no to the divorce bill.
Madam Speaker, I vote no and will explain my vote later.
I'd like to explain my vote because I have registered a no vote on the divorce bill.
Bongalon. Bordado.
Madam Speaker,
Yes, Honorable Bordado.
my vote is no, and kindly allow me to explain my vote later.
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Secretary General, please proceed.
Bosita. Briones. Brosas.
Madam Speaker,
Yes, the Honorable Brosas.
my vote is yes, and I would like to explain my vote later.
Yes, you may. The Secretary General is directed to proceed.
Buhain. Bulot Bigtam. Bustos. Cabredo. Cagas. Kahayon Uy. Calderon. Calixto. Campos. Kawagdan. Cardema. Cari. Castro Franz. Castro Jean.
Madam Speaker,
Yes, the Honorable Castro.
yeah, I vote no. And I'll explain my vote later. Thank
Yes, you may. Secretary General, please continue.
Celeste. Chan. Chato. Chua. Chunggalaw. Ko Angelica Natasha. Ko Elizaldi. Ko Pilar. Ko Juanco Jaime Eduardo Mark. Ko Juanco Mark. Colada. Colliantes. Corvera. Cruz Ambrosio. Cruz Ricardo. Cua. Quaresma. Dagook.
Madam Speaker,
Yes, the Honorable Dagok.
my vote is no, and may I request to give me time to explain my vote later.
Yes, you may. The Secretary General, please proceed.
Dalipe. Dalog. Dayang Hirang. Daza. De Jesus. Divinesia. Defensor. Del Mar. De Los Santos. Dimaporo Muhammad Khalid. Dimaporo City Amina. Dionisio. Domingo. Duavit. Duhali. Duterte. D. Faustino Ino. D. Faustino Michael Carlos. D. Ian Paul. Ecleo. Emano. Enverga. Escudero. Espares. Espina. Estrella. Udela. Fariñas. Fernandez. Ferrer Antonio. Ferrer Juliet Marie.
Madam Speaker. Yes, the Honorable Ferrer.
My vote is yes.
Please proceed.
Flores. Fortes. Frasco. Fresnedi. Fuentebella. Galeyos. Garcia Albert. Garcia Dante. Garcia Jose Arturo. Garcia Maria Angela. Garcia Pablo Jan.
Madam Speaker,
Yes, the Honorable Pablo John.
my vote is yes, and at the proper time, I would like to explain my vote, Mr. Speaker. Madam
Yes,
Speaker.
yes, you may. Please proceed.
Garcia Vincent. Guardiola. Garin.
A million yes, Madam Speaker.
Please continue.
Gasataya. Gato. Go Ed Christopher. Go Mark. Gonzales Aurelio. Gonzales Neptali. Gonzales Sandro. Goriseta. Guico. Gintu. Gulyas. Gutierrez. Haresco. Hataman. Hernandez. Herrera. Horibata. Javier. Co Olga. Co Ricardo. Co Wilton. Kong Hun. Labad-labad. Lacson. Lacson Noel. Lagman.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Lagman, please.
My vote is yes. I will not explain anymore my vote, but I would like to be recognized after all of the concerned members have explained their respective votes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Well noted, gentleman from Albay. Maraming salamat, sir. Please proceed.
Lagon Daphne. Lagon Sani. Lara. Lezatin. Lee. Legarda. Libanan. Lim Kay Chong. Loyola. Luistro. Lumayag. Macapagal Arroyo.
No.
Maceda. Madrona. Magsino. Malapitan. Mangawang. Manikis. Manuel.
Mr. Speaker,
Kong Raul Manuel, please.
ang boto po ng kabataan ay yes at nais ko pong magpaliwanag na aking boto mamaya. Salamat.
Salamat, Kong Manuel. Please proceed.
Marañon. Marcoleta. Marcos. Mariano Hernandez. Marinho. Marquez. Martinez. Mastura. Matibag. Matugas. Mendoza. Mercado. Mercado Revilla. Miguel. Momo. Morden. Nava. Nisay. Nograles Juan Fidel Felipe. Nograles Margarita. Nolasco. Owaminal. Olaso. Olivares. Ongjuan. Ordanes. Ortega. Uwano Dizon. Padiernos. Paduano. Paglas. Palma. Panaligan. Pancho. Panotes. Pascual. Peña. Pimentel. Plaza. Pleito. Primicia Sagabas. Pumaren. Puno. Kimbo. Rama. Rehencia. Remulla. Revilla Brian. Revilla Ramonjolo. Reyes. Rilio.
Madam Presiding Officer,
Yes,
Madam Presiding Officer, my vote is no, and I would like to express my brief explanation.
Yes, you may.
Because of this Bible verse that states,
You can explain after the voting.
just 5 seconds, but okay, after the voting lang. Thank you very much, Madam President.
Secretary General, you may proceed.
Rivera. Robes. Rodriguez Eulogio. Rodriguez Rufus.
Madam Speaker,
The Honorable Rodriguez, you're recognized.
in the presence of Bishop Antonio Artobias of the Roman Catholic Church, of which I am a practicing member, being a parishioner of the San Antonio de Padua Parish of Barangay Nazareth, Cagayan de Oro City, I therefore, in also the presence of the religious organizations, I vote a resounding and strong no to the divorce bill. May I be allowed to explain my vote? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes, you may. Please proceed, Secretary General.
Roman. Romero. Romualdez Ferdinand Martin. Romualdez Yeda Marie. Romualdo. Romulo. Roque. Sakdalan. Sa Garbaria. Sa Kaluran. Salceda. Sali. Sa Limbangon. Salo. Santos. Saulug. Silverio. Sigson Richel. Singson Ronald. Singson Mihan. Solon. Suwan. Suwansing Horacio. Suwansing Micaela Angela.
No
Suarez. Talyado. Tamayo. Tambunting. Tan Joseph. Tan Keith Micah. Tan Reynolds Michael. Tan Samir. Tan Stephen James. Tan Tambut. Tan Chay. Tan Watko. Tariela. Teodoro. Teves. Tiangco. Tieng. Tolentino. Tulfo Erwin. Tulfo Jocelyn. Tulfo Ralph Wendell. Tupas. Tutor. T. Umali. Unabia. Ungab. Uy. Valeriano. Valmayor. Vargas. Vargas Alfonso. Velasco. Veloso Tuazon. Vergara.
Madam Speaker, I vote no and will explain my vote later.
Yes, you may. Secretary General, please continue.
Verzosa. Villa. Villafuerte Luis Raymond. Villafuerte Miguel Luis. Villanueva. Villar. Villaraza Suarez. Villarica. Violago. Yamsuan. Yap Christiantel. Yap Christopherson. Yap Edvic. Yap Eric. Yu Divina Grace. Yu Giselle Victoria. Yulo. Zamora Amparo Maria. Zamora Maria Carmen. Zamora Isabel Maria. Zubiri.
Madam Speaker,
Yes. Please proceed for the second call.
Second call, in consideration on third reading of House Bill number 9349. Abante.
Madam Speaker,
Yes, the Honorable Abante is recognized.
I'm sorry I was not the first call because I was attending a committee hearing. I'd like to explain my vote because I have registered a no vote on this divorce bill.
Yes, you may explain later, Honorable Abante.
Thank you.
Please proceed.
Ang.
Madam Speaker, my vote,
Yes, the Honorable Ang.
my vote is no.
Please proceed.
Alonte. Asistio. Bolilia. Briones. Bolilia. Briones. Bustos. Cojuangco Mark. Colada. Dayang Hirang. Duterte. D. Faustino Michael Carlos. Fariñas. Guardiola. Haresco. Hernandez. Horibata. Co Olga. Co Ricardo. Labad-labad.
With 126 members voting in the affirmative, 109 in the negative, and 20 abstentions, House Bill number 9349 is approved on third and final reading. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the gentleman from the 6th District of Manila, Representative Bienvenido Abante Jr., to explain his vote.
The Honorable Abante Jr. is recognized. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and the Majority Leader.
Yes, you may proceed.
May I ask the people in the plenary to please be quiet. We are in session here. We would like everyone to understand whatever statement that we declare in this hall. 126. Madam Speaker, much as I understand the plight of some of our women who are victims of irresponsible and cruel men, I cannot in conscience and according to my faith support the divorce bill. I do not want to think, Madam Speaker, that our government has become a liberal and secular institution like the Western countries of today. I look at the preamble of our Constitution, Madam Speaker, that says, and I read, "We, the sovereign Filipino people, imploring the aid of Almighty God." And also in Section 12 on state policies, Madam Speaker, the state recognizes the sanctity of family life and shall protect and strengthen the family as a basic autonomous social institution. If our people would think that the divorce bill would make it easier for them to be able to break the marriages than the annulment of marriage law, I would not think that to be easy, Madam Speaker. I have told my good friend and kababayan, Congressman Esther Lagman, I have asked him for a while, because we already have laws on legal separation and nullity of marriage and annulment of marriage law. Why do we still need the divorce bill, Madam Speaker? I said that perhaps we could be able to repeal the annulment of marriage law, or perhaps incorporate all of the provisions in the divorce bill in the annulment of marriage law. But of course, he said that he would like to give all the options to our people. Madam Speaker, I cannot go against the majority rule of Congress. But I would like to say this in my speech today, that I hope that this divorce bill that perhaps would become a law someday would not be something that will be taken advantage by some people. We do not want this divorce bill be a tool Madam Speaker, that some people would take advantage of this. Why? Because in America, you could be able to divorce a person in 5 minutes. The next 10 minutes, Madam Speaker, they will remarry again. What is this? Malaki po itong kalokohan pag yung mga tinatawag nating irresponsableng mga kalalakihan o kababaihan ay gagawing kasangkapan itong divorce bill na ito upang paghiwalayin ang mga mag-asawa. Sana naman wag. I am afraid, Madam Speaker, that one day, once again, Congress, after us, after all of the congressmen here have already been here, Madam Speaker, that the new ones would be able to modify and amend the divorce law, if ever, Madam Speaker, so that like America, like Europe, Madam Speaker, they can just go to any state, for example, and be able to break their own marriage and then remarry again. We do not want that to happen. And may I sound a warning right now, Madam Speaker, one day, we will all regret what this Congress has approved right now. May I again sound the warning, Madam Speaker, that one day we shall regret what this plenary and 19th Congress has approved right now. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the gentleman from the Lone District of General Santos City, Congressman Loreto Acharon.
The Honorable
Explain his
Acharon
vote.
is recognized to explain his vote. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I voted no to House Bill number 9349 or this divorce bill because the measure as proposed is anti-family, anti-children, anti-social, and anti-Christian faith. Anti-family because it is undeniable that while divorce may cater beneficially to separated couples without any chance of reconciliation, a divorce law in the Philippines may be used and abused by many who see it as an easy way out and therefore an easy way to destroy a family. It is antisocial because divorce challenges traditional views on marriage, family, and societal values. Divorce does not guarantee a happy second chance. It is anti-children because by and large, it is the children who ultimately suffer when their welfare cannot be guaranteed. It is anti-Christian faith because marriage is a covenant established by God for those who receive the sacrament of marriage from the Catholic Church. Hence, their bond is sacred. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the gentleman of the Tingog Party List, Representative Jude Asidre, to explain his vote.
The Honorable June Asidre is recognized.
Madam Speaker, distinguished colleagues, the approval of the divorce bill begs the question, what is marriage? The Family Code of the Philippines defines marriage as a special contract of a permanent union between man and a woman. On this basis, Madam Speaker, marriage signifies dissolubility and unity. Thus, permanence is not simply a consequence, but it is inherent in the institution of marriage itself, regardless of the will or intention of the individuals concerned. Therefore, without permanence, a supposed union between a man and a woman would lose an essential quality for it to qualify as marriage. This is what we unfortunately approve today, the redefinition of marriage. The enactment of a divorce law in the Philippines reduced the marriage as an institution and subjected it to the whims of the spouses. It is no longer lifelong, permanent, and stable. The cohesion, the strength, the efficiency of the family as a unit of society constitute the key to and the measure of the greatness of a nation. While it is true that no one has to suffer the agony of a cruel and oppressive marriage or the trauma of a discordant home, denying marriage the dignity that it is due and dismantling the institution which is regarded as a foundation of this nation is simply too much of a price to pay. For these reasons, Madam Speaker, this representation votes no to the divorce bill.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the gentleman from the third District of Camarines Sur, Representative Gabriel Bordado, to explain his vote.
The Honorable Bordado is recognized to explain his vote. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the city of Naga, which forms part of the 3rd District of Camarines Sur, is the virtual seat of Roman Catholicism in the Bicol region. Here, the top hierarchy of the Archdiocese of Cáceres is based, and the annual Peña Francia festivity, arguably the biggest Marian devotion in Asia, is held here every September. The influence of Naga, therefore, extends not only in the 3rd District of Camarines Sur, but also in the other areas of the Bicol region. And this setup, Madam Speaker, has somehow influenced the mindsets of my constituents. In other words, Madam Speaker, my constituents may be viewed as politically mature and progressive, but they tend to be rather conservative when confronted with matters with religious undertones. For instance, Madam Speaker, the issue of divorce, which we already tackled here in the 17th Congress, hardly muster enough support from them. On many occasions, my staff conducted informal surveys in the entire district, and the results showed an overwhelming majority junking divorce. As representative of the people, Madam Speaker, it is my duty to articulate and defend what they want. I am therefore voting no to House Bill 9349. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the lady of Gabriela Partolis, the Representative Arlene Brosas, to explain her vote.
The Honorable Arlene Brosas is recognized to explain her vote. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we in Gabriela Women's Party is one of the staunch advocates of divorce. Way back in 2005, we introduced a bill to legalize divorce, and nearly 2 decades later, the necessity for this legislation remains pressing. Globally, divorce is widely recognized as a legal method to dissolve a marriage. Yet, the Philippines stands alone in not having a divorce law. However, the push for divorce legalization goes beyond international conformity. It is fundamentally about providing abused women a pathway to escape domestic violence and rebuild their lives. It is easy to paint Filipino families as perfect, devoid of any form of conflict and abuse. But in reality, political, economic, and social realities strain marital relationships. Many women face inequalities and violence that undermine the ideals of marriage. According to the 2022 National Demographic and Health Survey, 18% of women with intimate partners have experienced violence, emotional, physical, or sexual, from their current or most recent partners. Alarmingly, Nearly 40% of women aged 15 to 49 have encountered controlling behavior from their partners. These statistics highlight the urgent need for legal mechanisms to address and mitigate domestic abuse. The divorce bills aim to restore divorce as a rights-based option, acknowledging that the right to enter into marriage includes the right to exit, an irreparable one. This legislation will not precipitate marital breakups, but will offer an additional remedy alongside legal separation, annulment, and declaration of nullity of marriage. It respects the plurality of religious beliefs and cultural sensibilities in the Philippines, providing various remedies to suit different circumstances and beliefs. Moreover, Philippine law already accommodates divorce for Filipino Muslims under the Code of Muslim Personal Laws. Recognizing the Islamic faith's stance on divorce, non-Muslim Filipinos should be afforded the same legal option to reflect their religious and personal beliefs. Failed and abusive marriages span all socioeconomic classes in the Philippines. The lack of access to legal processes forces many couples, especially from marginalized sectors, to separate without legal recourse. The numerous petitions for marriage nullity since 1988 underscore the widespread need to address failed marriages legally. The socioeconomic conditions in the Philippines, marked by labor exports, stagnant incomes, joblessness, and rising living costs, exacerbate marital issues. Divorce legislation acknowledges these realities, providing legal recognition to existing social conditions without further fragmenting already broken homes. We emphasize that divorce is not inherently a religious issue. The proposed bill respects all religions, ensuring that various remedies for failed marriages are available. Madam Speaker, it is time to grant spouses the option to legally exit unhealthy marital relationships. Bigyan natin ng pagkakataon ng mga naaabusong kababaihan at kanilang mga anak ng isang pagkakataon na mabuhay sa isang pamilyang puno ng pagmamahal. Maraming salamat, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the lady from the 2nd District of the Province of Capiz, Representative Jane Castro, to explain her vote.
The Honorable Jane Castro is recognized to explain her vote. You have 3 minutes.
Madam Speaker, this representation voted in the negative to House Bill number 9349 because I believe in the sanctity of marriage and the resilience of the family. I voted no to this said bill because I believe that we must strengthen the family as the basic unit of the society and not to weaken it. Thank you.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the representative from the ACT Teachers Party List, Representative Franz Castro, to explain her vote.
The Honorable Franz Castro is recognized. You have 3 minutes to explain your vote.
Maraming salamat, Madam Speaker. ACT Teachers Party List votes resounding yes to this bill, Absolute Divorce Bill. Bilang isang progresibong mamabatas at kinatawan ng mga guro at manggagawang pang-edukasyon, buo ang suporta ng representasyong ito sa Absolute Divorce Bill. Ang hakbang na ito ay nagbibigay ng isang kinakailangang opsyon para sa mga kababaihan at pamilya na nakakulong sa mga sira-sirang kasal, lalo na kung may kasama itong mga karahasan sa tahanan. Madalas, Madam Speaker, ang mga kababaihan at mga bata ang biktima sa mga dysfunctional na kasal nang walang legal na paraan para makalabas sa sitwasyon. Ang diborsyo ay magbibigay sa kanila ng paraan para makalabas at magkaroon ng pagkakataon na magsimula muli, malaya muli sa karahasan at pang-aapi sa loob ng tahanan. Ito ay isang batas na pro-kababaihan, pro-bata. Hindi sinisira ang kabanalan ng kasal. Hindi sinisira ng kabanalan ng kasal ang diborsyo. Ito lamang po ay pagkilala na may mga ilang kasal sa wala namang kasalanang mga asawa na lumubog sa mga mapanakit na relasyon na hindi maaaring maayos. Ang pagbibigay ng diborsyo bilang opsyon ay hindi sa pilitan sa sino man na tanggapin ito, ngunit nagbibigay ng legal na paraan sa mga taong lubos na naghihirap na makalabas na hindi matibay na sitwasyon, na makalabas sa hindi matibay na sitwasyon. Sa mahabang panahon, Madam Speaker, ang Pilipinas na lamang ang walang batas ng diborsyo, maliban sa Vatican City. Ang ibang mga bansa sa pagkakaroon ng ang mga ibang bansa ay nagkaroon na po ng mga batas ng diborsyo. Bilang isang moderno at progresibong bansa, kailangan nating makahabol at magbigay sa ating mga mamamayan ng isang makataong opsyon kapag nabigo na ang lahat sa isang kasal. Ito ay upang protektahan ang karapatan, kaligtasan at dignidad ng mga kababaihan at bata na nakakulong sa mga papang-abusong kasal. Bigyan natin sila ng legal na paraan para makalabas sa mga opisyal na relasyon na naging bilangguan. Ang pagboto ng oo sa House Bill na ito ay isang boto para sa pamilya at sa pamahalang karahasan laban sa mga kababaihan at bata. Maraming salamat, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the representative of APIC Party List, Congressman Sergio Dagoc, to explain his vote.
The Honorable Sergio Dagoc is recognized to explain his vote. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Majority Leader. First of all, I would like to express my respect to all those who voted yes on this measure. But, Madam Speaker, I stand before you today to express my unwavering opposition to the proposed legislation that seeks to legalize divorce, tapos dinagdagan pa ng absolute. No? In our beloved Philippines, Madam Speaker, I think the term absolute is sobra na. No? My stance is firmly grounded into paramount reasons that I believe are essential to uphold the sanctity of our nation's moral and constitutional foundations. Firstly, let us reflect upon our Constitution, the very bedrock of our nation's legal framework. The preamble of the Philippine Constitution explicitly states, "We, the sovereign Filipino people, imploring the aid of Almighty God in order to build a just and humane society." This invocation is not a mere formality, but a profound declaration that our laws and governance are to be aligned with the divine guidance. It underscores our commitment to a just and humane society, one that mirrors the principles and commandments laid out by our Almighty God. To legalize divorce plus the word absolute is to enact a law that directly contradicts, for me, to the Word of God as understood in our faith and traditions. Marriage, as ordained by God, is a sacred covenant, a lifelong union between a man and a woman. By allowing divorce, we would be endorsing the dissolution of this sacred bond, which stands in stark opposition to our constitutional pledge to seek the aid and guidance of God in all our endeavors. Our Constitution mandates that our laws should not contradict that divine, and legalizing divorce would undoubtedly breach this sacred trust. Secondly, as we delve into the teachings of the Bible, we find an equivocal guidance on the society and indissolubility of marriage. In Matthew chapter 19, verse 4 to 6, when our Lord Jesus Christ was asked about this, he answered, "Haven't you read," he replied, "that at the beginning the Creator made them male and female, and said, for this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate." These verses clearly elucidate that marriage is a divine institution, a union sanctified by God Himself. The priest, what God has joined together, let no one separate, leaves no room for ambiguity. Legalizing divorce would mean legislating against these very words of our Savior, undermining the sacredness of marriage and the divine intent behind this union. As lawmakers, we have a profound responsibility to uphold these teachings and ensure that our laws reflects our faith. This is a choice between the law of God and the law of the human beings. That's why this representation chose and select the law of God. That's why this representation voted a resounding no to this House bill or this measure. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the gentleman from the 3rd District of the Great Province of Cebu, Representative Pablo John Garcia, to explain his vote.
The Honorable Garcia is recognized to explain his vote. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Distinguished colleagues, I voted yes to the divorce bill for reasons already stated in my sponsorship speech and in the debates that followed. We understand and we respect the different views, religious, moral, even policy views for objecting to the divorce bill. We have different views on the matter and we respect differences. I must address, however, Madam Speaker, the so-called constitutional objection to the divorce bill. It is argued that because the Constitution states that marriage is an inviolable social institution, then divorce is unconstitutional. I believe this is a misreading of the Constitution, Madam Speaker. What the Constitution says is marriage is inviolable. It does not say that it cannot be dissolved or terminated. What it merely means is while a marriage exists and lasts, then you cannot enter into another marriage because it would violate the exclusivity of a marriage. While a marriage exists, one cannot have sexual relations with another because it would violate the obligation of fidelity in marriage. But the Constitution, whether expressly or impliedly, does not prohibit a marriage from being dissolved or terminated, as it is in fact liable of being terminated or dissolved under our very laws, our family code, and under this very Constitution. As an analogy, Madam Speaker, the laws we pass here in Congress are all inviolable. While those laws exist, they cannot be violated under pain of penalty. But saying that a law is inviolable is not equivalent to saying that a law is irrepealable. Laws are in fact subject to repeal, but this does not detract from their inviolability while they remain laws. So that is what the Constitution merely says about marriage being an inviolable social institution. It did not say that it cannot be terminated or dissolved. So, Madam Speaker, while we may differ in opinion on divorce on the basis of principle, religious beliefs, or moral beliefs, but there is only one Constitution, and there can be no constitutional objection to divorce. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the gentleman from the Lone District of Baguio, Congressman Marco, to explain his vote.
The Honorable Marco is recognized to explain his vote. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, honorable colleagues. Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. Today, I explain my vote of no on House Bill 9349, an act reinstituting absolute divorce. My decision is rooted in 3 fundamental reasons. First, the need to protect the sanctity of the family. Second, the potential to improve existing legal frameworks. And third, the importance of expanding social services aimed at salvaging failed marriages. Firstly, we must protect the sanctity of the family. Article 15, Section 2 of the 1987 Constitution is unequivocal in asserting that marriage as an inviolable social institution is the foundation of the family and shall be protected by the state. Marriage is not merely a contract between two individuals. It is the bedrock of our society. The dissolution of this sacred institution through divorce undermines the very foundation upon which our communities are built. Furthermore, it is the children who will bear the brunt of divorce. We have already seen studies that have shown that children from broken families often face emotional, psychological, and social challenges. By upholding the sanctity of marriage, we are safeguarding the well-being and the future of our nation's children. Secondly, we can address marital issues within the framework of existing laws rather than introducing divorce. To achieve this, we propose transferring the requisites of legal separation to annulment. By doing so, we acknowledge that the severe grounds for legal separation, such as repeated physical violence, drug addiction, abandonment, and sexual infidelity, should also be valid grounds for annulment. This expansion would provide those in troubled marriages with a more definitive resolution, recognizing the gravity of these issues and allowing individuals to fully dissolve their marital bonds rather than just separate. Furthermore, we must tackle the inefficiencies in our court system that cause delays and prolong the process of legal separation and annulment. The cost of an annulment varies widely, and it can range from 150,000 pesos to 300,000 or more. The entire process can take anywhere from 6 months to 4 years, depending on the court's calendar. Streamlining this procedure and reducing costs will make these options more accessible to those in troubled marriages, providing a viable alternative to divorce. Lastly, we must expand social services aimed at supporting couples before and during marriage to ensure that they are prepared for the challenges that they may face. By investing in comprehensive premarital education programs, we can help couples build a strong foundation, teaching them effective communication skills, conflict resolution, and financial management. During marriage, it is crucial to offer quality and accessible marriage counseling and support services. Strengthening these support systems can help couples work through their issues, fostering reconciliation and understanding, rather than opting for divorce at the first sign of irreconcilable difference. Providing robust counseling services demonstrates our commitment to preserving the family unit. These social services are more meaningful and constructive approach, emphasizing prevention and support over dissolution. In conclusion, allowing divorce would open the floodgates to more failed families, leaving children as the primary victims. Instead of taking this drastic step, we should focus on enhancing existing legal mechanisms and investing in social services, supporting and mending marriages. By doing so, we uphold the sanctity of the family, protect our children, and maintain the moral fabric of the Philippine society. Again, I vote no to the House Bill 9349.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the gentleman from the 4th District of Leyte, Congressman Richard Gomez, to explain his vote.
The Honorable Richard Gomez is recognized to explain his vote. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I voted no for the divorce bill because I believe in the sanctity of marriage. The Philippines is largely a Catholic country, and I believe that our laws are there to serve a majority of the Filipino people. Conversely, I believe that our laws must also provide for laws that abide, by the religious customs of majority of the Filipino people. Our civil code in its present form simply provides for those whose religious customs sanctifies marriage. The current laws also provide for annulment of marriage for cases where the parties were psychologically incapacitated from the very beginning. So we can say that our laws do not provide for a resolution for those whose marriages were defective at the fundamental level. Divorce may also lead to more cases of infidelity, as people may feel that they can easily get out of their marriages if they find someone better. Saying yes to divorce would diminish the extent and seriousness of the commitment to make a marriage decision. This will therefore breed marriages that are based on haphazard decisions. Ano sasabihin natin? Anyways, there's always a way out. If this doesn't work, ang daling umiskapo. Pag ayaw ka na, ayaw na natin. May divorce naman. It should not work that way. Madam Speaker, in alfie.org.ph, in their studies have shown the destructive consequences of divorce, the devastating emotional and psychological effects on the separating parents and the children. Remember that the children of divorce will become the parents of tomorrow. They may also fail to prioritize the strength of their families. And for that, I voted no. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, may I respectfully move that we recognize the author of House Bill number 349, the gentleman from the 1st District of the Great Province of Albay, Congressman Edsel Lagman, to explain for a quick manifestation.
The Honorable Edsel Lagman is recognized for his manifestation.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I am making this short manifestation to express my profound gratitude to all of those who contributed in various ways to the approval of the Absolute Divorce Bill on third and final reading. Let me first thank the leadership of the House under the stewardship of Speaker Martin Romualdez for allowing the members to cast a conscience vote. The collective conscience of the House through a majority vote has spoken loud and clear. Enact the absolute divorce law now. Likewise, I would like to thank Majority Leader Manuel Manix Dalipi for complying with his commitment that the Absolute Divorce Bill will be called for second and third reading before we adjourn Synod today. My earnest thanks also go to the almost 80 co-authors of the bill who have remained steadfast in their support. Madam Speaker, may I also thank the other members of the House who, despite not being co-authors, fully supported the bill and even solicited affirmative votes. Let me also thank the chairman of the Committee on Population and Family Relations, the Honorable Ian Boldi, as well as the staff of the committee for their continuing stewardship of the bill. Thanks also to the officials of the technical staff of the Committee on Rules who were patient enough to get my calls for them to remind those who registered to interpolate not to delay anymore their interpolation. A special thanks also to my congressional staff, members for their invaluable research and enduring support. Finally, Madam Speaker, my unending gratitude to the thousands of women advocates who work very hard for the passage of the absolute divorce bill in the House. Their representatives trooped to the House and attended daily the sessions for several months in order to show their unwavering support for the bill. Madam Speaker, to those who oppose the measure, I truly respect their differing views based on religious belief, fear of their bishops and pastors, following the preference of their constituents, apprehension of reprisals at the polls, that it is a conjugal decision, and in order not to displease their respective spouses. I am happy to note that these objections do not go into the empirical and secular merits, constitutionality, and efficacy of the absolute divorce bill. Madam Speaker, starting tomorrow, we shall begin our campaign in the Senate so that its counterpart measure, which has long been ripe for plenary deliberations, shall similarly be passed. Once again, thanks to one and all.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the gentleman and four-piece party list, our distinct minority leader, Representative Marcelo Libanan, to explain his vote.
The Honorable Liban is recognized to explain his vote. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, may I know how my vote was registered? Madam Speaker,
It's a no vote, Honorable Libanan.
Madam Speaker, I vote no. Madam Speaker, no bliss comparable to being married to the one you love. This, to my mind, is the rationale behind the biblical passage I quote, "What God has put together, let no one put asunder." Catholic Bible, Mark chapter 10, verse 9. Madam Speaker, that not all marriages end up happily ever after. We are aware of this, as some couples rush in where fools fear to tread. Some marriages are also not meant to be forever. Somewhere along their married life, sometimes early, sometimes late, they find themselves no longer happy living together. That, Madam Speaker, is a fact, not just an opinion. When that moment comes, Madam Speaker, marital bliss turns from heaven into hell. Longer the law, no business being forcing a couple to live together, especially when the children are involved. When arguments turn into fights, when there is hatred and no more respect between man and wife, the law has more reason to keep the frayed marriage bonds together. This is the reason why, Madam Speaker, we already have in our statute of books the law on annulment of marriage. It is incumbent on the married couple, for their own sake and for the sake of their children and respective families, that they do their utmost to keep the marriage bond intact. And lastly, Madam Speaker, absolute divorce will destroy our family. And what does our Constitution, 1987 Constitution says? Article 2, under state policies, Section 12, I quote, "The state recognizes the sanctity of the family and shall protect and strengthen the family as a basic autonomous social institution. It shall equally protect the life of the mother, the life of the unborn from conception, the natural and primary right and duty of parents in the rearing of the youth for civic efficiency and development of moral character, and shall receive the support of the government." With the above reasons, Madam Speaker, I respect those who voted in favor, but I humbly vote against this measure. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the lady from the 2nd District of Batangas, Representative Jervil Luistro, to explain her vote.
The Honorable Luistro is recognized. You have 3 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today to express my firm opposition to the proposed divorce bill. My decision to vote against this bill is grounded in several key arguments that reflect the values and legal principles that underpin our society. First and foremost, the divorce bill diminishes the sanctity of marriage, a cornerstone of Filipino culture rooted in close family ties. The family, as the basic social institution, is constitutionally recognized under Article 2, Section 12 of the Philippine Constitution, which mandates the state to protect and strengthen the family as a basic autonomous social institution. Marriage, being the foundation of the family, must be safeguarded. Secondly, the divorce bill promotes the non-exhaustion of reconciliation efforts by offering a convenient escape from marital issues. The Family Code of the Philippines, particularly Article 59, mandates the family courts to ensure that reconciliation efforts are made before any legal separation or annulment proceedings are pursued. The most important, Mr. Speaker, there is ample remedies already existing in civil law and even in canon law, which address failed marriages. This representation is not against the separation of spouses. This representation is not against the nullification of marriages, especially when the children is suffering from extreme pain already. However, for the sake of the Filipino people, let me translate to Tagalog. Mayroon na pong sapat na batas na nagbibigay ng solusyon para sa hindi tagumpay na pagsasama ng mag-asawa. And to enumerate, Mr. Speaker, Article 36 of the Family Code addresses the nullity of marriage due to psychological incapacity. In the recent case of Tan Andal versus Andal, the Supreme Court clarified that psychological incapacity need not be a mental or personality disorder, nor should it be a permanent and incurable condition. Second, Mr. Speaker, legal separation is a remedy under Articles 55 to 67 of the Family Code. This provision allows spouses to live separately while remaining legally married, addressing issues such as abuse, infidelity, or abandonment. The case of Ocampo versus Ocampo exemplified the application of legal separation, providing protection and relief to aggrieved spouses without dissolving the marital bond, and thus preserving the sanctity of marriage and protecting family ties. Ultimately, Mr. Speaker, canon law of the Roman Catholic Church also supports annulment under specific conditions. Canon 1095 of the Code of Canon Law specifies that a marriage can be declared null if one of the parties lacked sufficient use of reason, suffered from a grave defect of discretion or judgment concerning essential matrimonial rights and duties, or was unable to assume the essential obligations of marriage due to causes of a psychic nature. This alignment with the Catholic Church's teachings underscores the importance of considering annulment over divorce. Regarding the concern over the costly judicial process of annulment and legal separation, the remedy lies in institutionalizing free legal assistance for interested spouses through the Public Attorney's Office and the Integrated Bar of the Philippines Legal Aid Office. Under Republic Act Number 9406, the PAO is mandated to provide free legal services to indigent litigants. Additionally, the IBP's legal aid program, established under Rule 138-A of the Rules of Court, offers free legal assistance to those who cannot afford private counsel. By strengthening these institutions and ensuring their accessibility, we can provide the necessary legal remedies to those in need without resorting to divorce. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, my vote against the divorce bill is grounded on the firm belief that it undermines the sanctity of marriage, disregards necessary reconciliation efforts, and overlooks existing legal remedies that address failed marriages. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Maraming salamat. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize one of our Deputy Minority Leader, the gentleman from the 1st District of Northern Samar, Representative Paul Daza, to explain his vote.
Congressperson Paul Daza of Samar, you're recognized, sir. You have three minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand before you today to voice my opposition to the proposed bill and to explain my no vote. While the intentions behind this bill may stem from a desire to address the genuine suffering of those trapped in untenable marriages, I firmly believe that introducing divorce is not the solution that best serves our society's long-term well-being. Firstly, we must consider the sanctity of marriage. Marriage is enshrined in our cultural and religious heritage. It's a sacred union. It is not merely a contract, but a covenant, meant to endure through life's inevitable challenges. By legalizing divorce, we risk undermining this profound commitment, making it easier for couples to view marriage as a temporary arrangement rather than a lifelong partnership. Remember the words, until death do us part. Secondly, the impact on families, particularly children, everyone knows that, cannot be ignored. Studies from countries where divorce is prevalent indicate that children from divorced families often face significant emotional and psychological challenges. They experience higher levels of anxiety, depression, and behavioral issues compared to their peers from intact families. Moreover, we should consider the existing mechanisms within our legal framework that already provide remedies for those in difficult marriages. Legal separation and annulment, though imperfect, offer pathways for individuals to address issues of marital strife without completely dissolving the union. Instead of introducing divorce, we should have focused on reforming and improving these processes to make them more accessible and efficient. This approach would address the needs of those in distress while preserving the sanctity of marriage. We must also acknowledge the potential socioeconomic consequences of legalizing divorce, the economic burden on single-parent households is significantly higher, leading to increased poverty rates and dependence on social welfare systems. In a country where many already struggle to make ends meet, adding this layer of financial strain could have far-reaching repercussions on our economy and the overall well-being of our citizens. This bill did not have provisions that will strengthen child support mechanisms for divorced families. Moreover, our nation's laws should reflect our collective moral convictions. The overwhelming majority of Filipinos are Catholic, and our legislation should embody the values and teachings of our faith. Legalizing divorce sends a message that our society condones the breaking of solemn vows, contradicting the very principles that many of our citizens hold sacred. Voting no to the divorce bill is not merely a political decision. It is an affirmation of our faith, values, and our commitment to the sanctity of marriage. It is a stand for the permanence of the marital covenant, the well-being of our families, and the moral teachings of our Catholic Church. Thank you, and may God bless us all.